Hello everyone, I Dhatri Parmar and today's my topic of presentation is Metaphysical Meets Machine, a comparative exploration of poetry. Uh, Metaphysical poetry is basically written in 17th century by wise individuals and in which they are writing about a religious theme and philosophical themes throughout this. And if we compare it in a present time, then today computer based programs such as ChatGPT and AI based other program are writing this kind of a poetry. So in which this presentation we are going to see the comparison of both of that. First of all, let us take a look at what is a metaphysical poetry. So it emerged in 17th century and it explored the philosophical themes, and main element of the metaphysical poetry is conceit. So there is using of a far-fetched images which are not similar to each other. Some of the notable figure of the metaphysical poets are John Donne, Andrew Marvell, Henry Vaughan, George Herbert, and Richard Crashaw. And their main aim was to use a conceit and give a moral message through it. Samuel Johnson in 18th century coined this term known as a metaphysical poetry in his work, and he stated this term as a derogatory term which later became a famous, but now it is considered as a positive term. This is a poem which is generated by ChatGPT. So basically, I gave prompt to ChatGPT, and he it wrote the this poetry. Let us take a look at what kind of similarities and dissimilarities it has. So I took the poem of The Flea by John Donne, and I just gave same prompt to the ChatGPT to write poem on The Flea. So both of the in the first we take a look at the John Donne's poem, then it is a classical metaphysical poetry. On the other hand, a ChatGPT based generated poem are similar because it is written by our prompt, and both has a rich imaginary and vivid symbols in it that they used. Main difference is that in for example in the flea poem by John Donne, poet states that speaker is biting one flea to speaker, and then the flea is biting to his beloved. Now they have a physical advancement, so now they don't have to worry about that or fear about that. On the other hand, it's a chat gpt generated poem showed that flea is biting the speaker and then beloved, so now their love is in the body of flea. So it is symbolizing the pure love, not apart from that, not going beyond that. Main criteria that we take a look. So the criteria of the authorship. So the John Donne written the flea poem is written by a human poet. On the other hand, the ChatGPT's poem is generated by AI program. Then the time period that John Donne's Flea is written in 17th century. On the other hand, whenever I gave prompt to ChatGPT, it written. So it is basically written in modern time. Complication that John Donne's The Flea poem is more complicated in using of imaginary and symbols and conveying its idea. On the other hand, ChatGPT's poem is least complex. So you can easily grasp the meaning of the poetry by reading it. On the other hand, John Donne's poem has a personal voice, and of course, the ChatGPT generated poem has not the personal voice because we gave command to it and it returned. So the John Donne's Flea poem is authentic, and on the other hand, ChatGPT has combined all the knowledge which was given to it, and then it create a poetry. So it is based on learning. AI poetry in future. So AI is writing is not data. It means of expression, and non-scientific computer program has nothing to express. For example, if we are giving prompt to ChatGPT, then it generates poem. First, it needs data. After that, it can create. On the other hand, humans has their human have their own imagination, their own creativity, so they can create their poetry. And ChatGPT can make poetry by the data which it has. So there is a major difference, and it cannot take a place of human. So in the present time, we can find the question that does ChatGPT take place of human or creative writing or not? So the clear answer is no, that it cannot take the place of humans creative writing. On the other hand, creative collaboration. So how ChatGPT can help create in creative writing, such as writing fictional and poetry. So it use transform writing with suggestions, grammar editing we can do, and then creative ideas, simplifying the ideas and enhancing the writing process, that it give us a new kind of ideas when we are giving it a prompt. So in a way, ChatGPT provides us a background to start writing a creative writing. So ChatGPT help, or even other any AI based platform can help us. But the main problem is the ethical implication, that we cannot take it as an ethical genre, but as we now getting the idea that journals are started publishing the poetry and fictional writing which is generated by chat gpt and other based platforms. So it is emerging field, but right now the ethical issue is there, and language evolution is also there, because the John Donne's poem the flea is written in 17th century, so its language is more complex, bit complex. On the other hand, the modern poetry which is generated by chat gpt, it has a common language, so it can easily understand by other people. So this is the main criteria which we take a look. In conclusion, when we compare John Donne's poem The Flea to ChatGPT's poem, that how old and new poetry are different, and Donne's poem is complex and shows human emotion. On the other hand, ChatGPT's poem is generated by computer, so it has not a kind of a feeling or emotions. And in future, AI generated poetry like ChatGPTs can help human poets by giving them ideas or improving their work. It might even help create new poetry style. However, human emotions and creativity still be special in poetry, and AI cannot replace it. So creative writing is in the hand of human mind. So ChatGPT cannot generate. So this is the concluding. So okay, these are the references, and thank you. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
So that does far-fetched images are covered in the poetry generated by the chat GPT.
Yes, ChatGPT generated poem also used the symbol of a flea in it. So the symbol is used, but not that kind of a far-fetched image we can find, because it has already all the data in it. So it can create a poetry within that data. It cannot go beyond that data. So far-fetched images are there, but not ChatGPT cannot provide a new far-fetched images. There are far-fetched image of the flea. Okay.
So that way we saw how developed the AI programs are. They can create significant art from inspired art, right? So do you think they are a challenge to contemporary artists?
It cannot be challenged to contemporary artists. Yes, in some way it can challenge that. Now creative writer have to think beyond that, but it can help create. It can help in creative writing, because whenever you are giving some prompt to chat gpt or any other AI based platform, it will give you a new 10 creative ideas. So the creative writing can be more productive in this way by using this kind of a platform. So it cannot be harm the contemporary artist, but it can be useful for contemporary artist. Okay, thank you.